Welcome to my YouTube channel Road Rider. Today we're doing a deep, rider first, no fluff review of the 2025 Royal Enfield Hunter 350. I'll take you through the design and ergonomics, the engine and real-world performance, the handling and brakes, the new mechanical updates Royal Enfield introduced for 2025, variant and pricing notes, ownership considerations, and finally a clear verdict on who this bike is best for. I'll also share practical riding tips and small changes you can make to get the best out of the Hunter 350 on both city streets, and occasional longer rides. First impressions matter. The Hunter 350 keeps the near-retro styling Royal Enfield has leaned into, but packages it in a compact, urban-friendly silhouette. The lines are clean, the tank is shapely without being overbearing, and the range of paint schemes for 2025 gives buyers more choice to personalize the look. The headlight now uses LED elements, and the switchgear is familiar, chunky, tactile, and simple to use while riding. The alloy-wheeled Metro variant gets additional visual cues and small convenience features that make it stand out if you want a slightly sportier, maintenance-friendly wheel option. Ergonomics are one of the Hunter's strongest cards. Royal Enfield tuned the handlebars and seating position to deliver a relaxed, upright posture that's easy on the wrists and back during short commutes, and tolerable for longer runs. The seat height is relatively low, which helps in city stop-start traffic, and gives confident footing at signals. Pillion accommodation is adequate for short hops, but not meant for marathon two-up touring. The overall mass and a compact wheelbase make the bike feel nimble in tight urban situations. It's one of those bikes you can flick through gaps without feeling like you're wrestling an oversized cruiser. Under the tank sits the familiar J-Series 349cc single-cylinder, air-oil-cooled engine that Royal Enfield has used across this family of 350cc models. On paper, the outputs are unchanged, around 20 HP and 27 Nm of torque, numbers that bias the engine toward tractable mid-range torque rather than peak horsepower. This makes the Hunter feel eager at city speeds and predictable on sweepers, but it won't blow you away on a straight highway blast. It's about usable, everyday power rather than outright excitement. The 5-speed gearbox is well laid out for urban commuting. Gear ratios are tuned so you rarely need to hunt for gears in traffic, and the engine's long-stroke character means it loves being pulled rather than revved hard. Royal Enfield for 2025. Royal Enfield focused on two mechanical items that directly affect the riding experience: the clutch and the rear suspension. The new Hunter 350 receives a slip-and assist slipper clutch which lightens lever effort and improves shift smoothness. That small change makes a disproportionate difference in daily use, especially in traffic where quick shifts and controlled clutch modulation matter. The rear suspension has also been reworked. Royal Enfield adopted linear progressive rear springs and changed damping characteristics to address previous complaints about a harsh rear end. Handling is where the Hunter makes the most of its brief, thanks to the relatively short wheelbase, well-balanced chassis geometry, and slightly lighter curb weight compared with larger Ray models. The Hunter is genuinely enjoyable at urban speeds, and surprisingly composed at higher speeds for a 350. The steering is light enough to be playful yet stable enough to hold a line when you need it. With the updated suspension tune, the bike no longer pitches or bounces harshly when you find a big pothole mid-corner. Instead, it soaks small impacts and keeps the tire contact consistent. Let's talk variants and features because Royal Enfield's model stack matters when you're comparing options. The Hunter 350 lineup in 2025 offers multiple trim levels. What this means for buyers is choice: more basic, value-oriented versions alongside mid-spec variants that include alloy wheels, a tripper navigation pod, and the mechanical upgrades mentioned earlier. If you pick the Metro alloy variant, you usually get the slipper clutch and the other 2025 niceties as standard, plus the convenience of tubeless alloy wheels for city use. Pricing and value. Royal Enfield positioned the 2025 Hunter 350 to remain competitive in the sub-400cc urban roadster market. Pricing adjustments and market conditions including tax, GST changes in some countries, affect final on-road cost, so check local dealer rates for exact figures. But across markets, the Hunter typically undercuts larger rivals while giving the distinctive Ray brand experience. When you factor in running costs, parts availability, and resale demand, the Hunter often represents a pragmatic buy for riders who want character and simplicity without big ownership overhead. If you're price sensitive, Watch promotional months or dealer offers. Small discounts can tip the decision for budget buyers. Performance deep dive. What to expect day to day. In city traffic, the Hunter's torque curve and clutch improvements make for smooth pull-away behavior. You'll spend most of your time in second and third gears, and the engine has enough torque to escape intersections without downshifting aggressively. Overtakes require a brief downshift or a firm twist of the throttle. But remember, this isn't a high-revving sport engine. It rewards momentum and gear planning. On open roads and highways, the bike will cruise comfortably at legal speeds. If you plan sustained to up travel with luggage and pillion, you'll be operating the engine closer to its limit and fuel economy will dip accordingly. For solo riders on mixed routes, it's a satisfying balance of comfort and usable speed. *** fuel economy and practical ownership. The Hunter's 13-liter tank and efficient single-cylinder layout deliver respectable mileage if you ride smoothly. Expect good results around town and reasonable figures on highways if you keep the revs mellow. Service intervals and maintenance are familiar raid territory. Periodic valve checks, oil changes, chain maintenance, and the odd consumable are the main items. Practical riding tips and small upgrades I recommend. First, brake the bike in gently. Keep revs moderate during the initial 1,000 kilometers, and follow the dealer's service schedule. Second, fit a subtle tail tidy or small luggage solution if you plan weekend trips. The Hunter's frame accepts aftermarket options easily. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.